So this video is the preview for the 325 main event, Volkanovski versus Lopes, and I was actually debating whether or not to make this video focusing just on the main event matchup or if I should just get straight into the whole card for the event. But I've decided that that video will be up at some point tomorrow, and today I am just going to be focusing on the main event. My initial thought was, well, this is just like a straight rematch for Volk. Lopes has only had one fight between his original title fight and now this rematch against Volk. And when watching their first matchup and then re-watching Lopes against Silva from Noche, I wanted to have this be its own video. I think it's a big enough matchup. People are excited about Volk being back, and who knows exactly how many times we're going to be able to say that. And I think that's actually where we should start. After Volkanovski beat Lopes last April, he was saying in interviews after the fact that people close to him were wondering why he didn't just lay down the gloves after he regained his belt there and then, and referencing those people with those thoughts made me think that, well, his next fight will definitely be his last one. When we heard that there was an Australia card, Volk to headline, I was dead certain, okay, this is it for him. One more fight, because we had Dustin last year get his last fight in Louisiana. It felt like they were going to do the same thing for Volk. Here's a fight in your home country. Then he rides off into the sunset, win, lose, or draw. Now, in some of his more recent interviews, he references people thinking that he's done after this fight, but he then follows up that by saying, well, if the fight goes how he thinks it's going to go, you're going to have people saying, well, I think Volk can go for a few more. Well, I now have no idea what he is thinking, if this will be his last fight, if he's going to retire. I think we'll just need to wait and see what he says in his post-fight interview with Rogan. I'm not even joking. I have got no idea what he's going to do. I had initially given Diego Lopes a chance in this fight just based off of the rumours surrounding Volk's retirement. Maybe his head might not be, fully in the game. We know how a hometown fight can go. We've seen what happened to Dustin Poirier. Now, after hearing, well, we'll see how Saturday goes, I am almost certain that Volkanovski is going to win this fight. How will he do it though? Having watched the first fight back, right, just watch round one. If you haven't watched the fight, watch round one. You can just see the difference in experience levels. Like, you can tell from the very start, like, which guy is a top contender and who has been doing GOAT shit for literal years now at this point. And the GOAT is the bald chef in the green shorts. You can tell, like, one of these guys has just fought Brian Ortega, and one of these guys has been having camps to fight Holloway 3 times, Islam, Elia. You can just tell that Volk is on, like, another level. And it's not even what he was doing, like the physical actions, but just the time in the round that he was doing it. Like, he was controlling the pace of the fight from the very start. Lopes wasn't willing to pressure Volk. And from there, Volk was just able to dictate the round. Lopes was trying to taunt Volk into a scrap. Volk stayed composed, didn't get dragged into anything. Just a smart fight. With 2 minutes left in the round, where there wasn't too much action, like nothing really overly, obvious to swing the round one way or the other. With 2 minutes left in the round, Volk jumped in, caught Lopes, created a big moment in the round, pressed him against the cage in the clinch, then got the takedown with 30 seconds left, ended the round with ground and pound. And what was a pretty nothing round for the majority of it, Volk was able to make his and win the last 2 minutes, 90 seconds, just because he knew when to pick his moments and not leave Lopes any time left to respond. Now, you might be thinking, wow, you're spending a lot of time focusing on just this first round. That's because of the contrast between this first round in the first round of Lopez's next fight against Gene Silva at Noche, right? Maybe this was just because it was his first 5 round fight against Volk, and maybe he was nervous that he was slow to get out the gates. He then completely overcorrected at Noche, right, in his second main event, his second 5 round fight, where he just decided to floor it in the first round, got the takedown, spammed I don't even know how many 12-6 elbows, but he couldn't get the finish. Gene Silva was up on his feet again before the end of the round. I spoke about Volkanovski being able to pick his moments. That right there, Lopez, is not picking your moments, son. Gene Silva was back up and on the attack, building momentum, right? People talk about Silva in that second round. He was building his momentum back in confidence heading into that second round. Even his corner were saying, look, that is the absolute best that Lopez has right there. That was the worst case scenario and we got through it, right? Now, you can't account for Gene Silva then being a complete idiot with 1 minute left to go, sprinting in and getting finished. But if he hadn't done that, if he just stayed calm, the momentum was on Silva's side. And I think we're talking about Silva piecing up Lopez over those 5 rounds. To be honest, the way that the momentum had swung, like Lopez had to get the finish there in that first round when he got that takedown, spammed those elbows, exerted all that pressure and all that energy. Just not a good example of picking your moments. Now, I think if Lopez tried that strategy of just flooring it against Volk, Volk would be able to adjust in the second and just wear out Lopez. That's where Gene Silva showed his inexperience, because he just started running round the octagon, chasing after Lopez when he was already up in that round with only a minute left to go. Then he got chinned. Volk isn't going to be sprinting directly into shots with a minute left on the clock when he's up in the round. Lopez did also get to show off his chin in that fight. We all knew Lopez had a chin. Like, Volk in that first fight hit him hard, right? And he just ate those shots. This was doubled down on in the Gene Silva fight, where he just ate those front kicks to the chin and acted like they just didn't even happen. So I don't think Volk is going to win via KO. I just don't think you can chin this guy, at least not yet. Maybe like in a few years when he's taking even more damage, but I just don't see it happening this Saturday. Whilst we're here and we're just knocking off ways to win, I think we can safely say that neither of these guys are going to win by submission. Like, I do not anticipate a submission finish tomorrow. I say tomorrow, Saturday. And I personally don't think that Lopez can actually win a decision over Volk. Like, Volk's fight IQ is so much higher than Diego Lopez. He has a much more refined game, deeper bag, if you want to say that. Just so much more experience with higher level opposition in these 5 round fights. And Lopez is just so punch heavy, and he's always there to get hit. Like, there's no way he is getting a decision win over Volk. And so that leaves us with either Lopez by KO or a Volkanovski decision. Now, whilst Lopez has the power to knock down Volk, we literally seen it in their last fight in round 2, I just don't see enough development in Lopez's game from that first fight to the Gene Silva fight to think that he can actually, set up Volk to eat one of those power shots that we know that he can land. I just think that if he was able to land it for the knockout, it would be down to pure luck. And whilst I think that it is possible, like, you've got 25 minutes, you can get lucky once, I cannot pick someone just based on them getting lucky over 25 minutes with Volk. When Lopez was able to drop Volk in that first fight, he only dropped him briefly, right? Like, Volk was still clearly there. Like, the best way I can describe it was he got dropped, but he wasn't rocked. He wasn't like on skates. Even though he went down, I never thought he was in any danger of being stopped. That means that I am going with Volkanovski by decision. I see this fight honestly playing out similarly to their first fight. I just don't see that development from Lopes, and I just don't see that level of fall off from Volk to, like, not even this fight out, but bring the gap between them closer together. Like, I think Lopes will come out faster in this fight. He was way too slow in the first, and he ended up giving those early rounds away. I think he will come out the gates quicker, but Volk will start to break him down as the fight goes on. I see 49-46, maybe 48-47, again, similar to the first fight. If Lopes can land one of those big shots and take another round off him, other than I can see Lopes coming out fast and maybe taking the first. If he can land one of those big shots, maybe he can take another round. But I think it will be a victory for Volkanovski in Australia. And I think he will fight again after this. I think if he wins, he will stay for either Lerone Murphy or a matchup against Movsar Evloev, because it seems like those were the fights that he actually wanted and not this one here against Lopes. But then again, that is just my opinion. What do you think will happen? Who do you think will win this fight? Volk or Lopes? Leave your opinion in the comments below. While you're there, remember to like and subscribe, and I will see you all tomorrow for more UFC 325 talk.